You're watching The Big Story. I'm Avni Raja. Let's begin with our big story that we're tracking today. A 5-story residential building, more than a century old, crumbled like a pack of cards early this morning. This tragic incident took place in the congested Bhendi Bazaar area of South Mumbai. At least 21 people have lost their lives and 17 people have been injured. And 10-12 people are still feared to be trapped under the debris. This, in fact, is a third incident of a building collapse in the past 1 month. Now, the officials claim that the building was declared dilapidated back in 2011, and even eviction notices were served to the residents. Let's hear out what the Chief Minister had to say when he visited the site some time back.
ये बड़ी दुर्दैवी घटना है। इसमें करीब 16 लोगों की अभी तक मृत्यु हुई है। 31 लोग टोटल बाहर निकाले, उसमें से 16 लोगों की मृत्यु हुई है। अभी भी राहत कार्य चल रहा है। एनडीआरएफ की टीम यहाँ पर काम कर रही है, फायर ब्रिगेड की टीम भी काम कर रही है। एसबीयूटी ये यहाँ का एक जो रीडेवलपमेंट का प्रोजेक्ट है, उस प्रोजेक्ट का एक भाग ये टीम ये बिल्डिंग थी। इस प्रोजेक्ट को मान्यता दी गई, उसके बाद इस बिल्डिंग को गिराया जाना चाहिए, इसके लिए नोटिस दी गई थी। ये धोखादायक बिल्डिंग है, इसका एक्सीडेंट हो सकता है, इसलिए इसको अंतिम नोटिस भी दी गई थी। इसके रीडेवलपमेंट को भी मान्यता दी गई थी, उसके टेनेंट्स की निश्चिति भी की गई थी और मई 2016 में इसको अंतिम जो डिमोलिशन है, उस डिमोलिशन को भी मान्यता दी गई थी। बावजूद उसके यहाँ पर कुछ लोग बाहर निकले, कुछ लोग नहीं निकले और ये इमारत आज गिरी, जिसके कारण इसमें आज मृत्यु हुई है। सरकार इन सभी के साथ में है। जो यहाँ पर जिनको मृत्यु आया है, ऐसे लोगों को, उनकी फैमिलीज को 5 लाख रुपए का कंपनसेशन सरकार देगी। जो जख्मी है उनका इलाज का खर्चा भी सरकार करेगी। और एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी लेवल के अधिकारी, एडिशनल चीफ सेक्रेटरी हाउसिंग, उनको हमने इसकी जांच करने के आदेश ये दिए हुए हैं, जिसके माध्यम से इसकी पूरी जांच की जाएगी। अगर इसमें कोई भी किसी भी प्रकार की कोताही हुई है तो उसके ऊपर एक्शन लिया जाए।
All right, joining me on the phone line is Disha, who's been at the site since this morning, tracking all the developments. Disha, take us through what are the latest details that you have. We understand that there are still people who are trapped under the debris and that rescue operations are still underway.
That's right, Avni. The rescue operations are still underway as we speak, and the death toll has gone up to 21, and the injured statistics and figures stands at 17. In fact, what we understand when we spoke to the chief fire officer as well, he said that there are more 10 to 15 people likely to be feared trapped inside, and the rescue operations will happen overnight as well if needed. So before that, if all of the people are rescued, then the rescue operations won't take place. But right now, the most important thing is that many political parties did visit today the spot, and we also heard the Chief Minister saying that 5 lakh rupees will be compensated to the deceased family members, and all the medical expenses of the injured victims will be taken care by the state government. And we also had broken on our channel saying that how the Chief Minister had ordered an inquiry and probe into this particular building collapse incident, and he has directed MHADA and BMC both to submit a detailed inquiry and investigation report as to who is responsible for this collapse site.
Right. Now, Disha, just to understand, like you said, we've seen Prakash Mehta, we've seen the Chief Minister and several people actually come to the site and, make their comments. But aside from that, this political blame game, as always, has started. If you can just take us through the actual sequence of events of what really happened, because in 2011, we understand that the tenants or the residents of the building were told that the building is weak, and then there were no warnings that were given after that. But in 2016, we understand that an eviction notice was served?
That's right. In 2009 as well as in 2011, the eviction notices were sent by Mahara to the tenants over there. That point in time, there were more than 15 families who used to reside in that weak and dilapidated structure. In 2011, we did see that out of 15 families, 7 families did move out, and the remaining number of families, they preferred staying back. After that, there were no warnings from the Mahara to the tenants, so they continued to stay there. And in 2016, we know for the fact, like you rightly pointed out, there was a cluster redevelopment project which is Chief Minister's pet project as well. So this particular residential building was also up for redevelopment. There were final order that this building should be demolished way back in 2016, but that clearly did not happen. And between all of this, Avni, I want to really point out here, if we are talking about blame game, Mumbai Mayor Vishwanath Mahadeshwar, he categorically blamed the Mahara that Mahara is the sole responsible agency here. But when this entire incident was taking place, when eviction notices were sent out, BMC was very well aware. BMC overlooked the entire matter because there was no electricity or water supply disconnected after the tenants refused to move out in 2011, and after that the entire matter and the entire eviction notices got hidden. So this is entirely the political blame game which is happening today after the incident, but at the end of the day it is the citizens, it's the people who have lost lives, 21 people, and more than 17 have been injured.
Right. Disha, have you managed to speak to any of the residents, any of the survivors, in terms of understanding whether they were given any alternative accommodation by the government when this eviction notice was served?
In 2011, when basically the residents were evacuated, when residents were given eviction notices and they were asked to vacate the premises, that's the point in time there was alternate accommodation that was provided by the government. But in 2016, when the remaining number of families were asked to move out, that point in time the government did not have any alternate accommodation to give, and that is what has been confirmed by the locals also, the survivors also that we spoke to. So they said that without any alternate accommodation, where would they go? In 2016, so they prefer staying back at BMC, also overlooked the entire matter. So, because Avni, I want to point this important fact that whenever there are eviction notices sent out to any residential building or tenants, then within 48 hours, BMC disconnects water supply and electricity. That is the rule, but that clearly did not happen, and that is why the residents continued to stay where they were.
All right. Thanks, Disha, for getting us those details. In fact, let's listen in now to what the Chief Fire Officer had to say.
अपनी प्रायोरिटी है पहला इनको हॉस्पिटल में जाके आया जितनी बॉडी आ रही है सब 20 लोग अभी भी अंदर दबे हुए, उनको पहला जो अंदर दबे हुए उनको निकालना प्रायोरिटी है। और रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन के पीछे हम लोग अभी हॉस्पिटल ही जा रहे हैं। और वो बिल्डिंग भाड़ा की थी, वो भाड़ा की जिम्मेदारी थी, उसको बना नहीं का। यस, लेकिन नहीं बनाया। 120 साल पुरानी बिल्डिंग को आप लोगों ने तोड़ दिया। अरे जगह दो जाने के लिए कौन जिम्मेदार है? चलो बाजू बैठो भाड़ा।
All right, Mirror Now's Shahryar Irani in fact spoke to a family who has lost one of their members to this horrific negligence. We'll try and play that out for you. But at this point, the information that we're getting is that 21 people have been killed and there are 17 people who have been injured. And there's still, as Disha was saying, 10 to 15 people who are still trapped under the debris. There have been several people who have visited the site since this morning, including Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, including Prakash Mehta, the Maharashtra Housing Minister, as well as the Mayor of Mumbai. And as is usually the case in such situations, the political blame game has begun. There was a notice sent out in 2011, and at that point, about 7 to 8 families moved out, but there were other 5 to 6 families who stayed back. And let's also listen. In fact, Mirror Now's Shahryar Irani spoke to a family who has lost one of their members to this horrific negligence by the state government. Listen in.
We are at the JJ hospital where relatives of the RC Wala building collapse tragedy are there. They have gathered here. We are joined by the relatives who have lost two brothers. One of them has lost their cousins. So we'll ask them what the ordeal they are facing right now dealing with the government officials. Sir, पहले तो आप ये बताइए आपके कितने परिवार वाले थे यहाँ पे?
हमारे 3 परिवार वाले थे।
और आपने आपके 2 भाई खोए थे ये उसमें?
हाँ 2 भाई खोए हैं।
सर आपको कैसे पता चला ये हादसे के बारे में? आप बाजू में थे, आप बाजू वाले बिल्डिंग में रह रहे थे?
हाँ बाजू गली में था।
और आपको कैसे पता चला आपके भाई फंसे हुए थे या उन्हें अस्पताल ले आया गया?
तो सो रहे थे लोग, सो रहे थे।
ठीक है सर। और आपके भाई वहाँ पे काम क्या कर रहे थे?
धंधा करते थे।
आपके हिसाब से सर कितने लोग थे वहाँ पे वही बिल्डिंग में आपके भाई के साथ और 2 काम करने वाले?
उनमें 20-25 आदमी थे।
ठीक है सर। और आपको यहाँ पे क्या परेशानी हो रही है?
परेशानी कोई मदद नहीं कर रहा है और बॉडी को गाँव लेके जाना है।
ठीक है रखो। तो आपको अस्पताल में ऐसे कोई परेशानी हो रही है कि आपको वो बॉडी नहीं दे रहे, आपको बोल रहे कुछ पैसा दो तो हम बॉडी देंगे?
ऐसा तो कुछ नहीं हो रहा है।
पर आपको गांव ले जाने के लिए आपको प्रशासन से ये है कि उनसे पैसे दे दे?
गांव ले जाने के लिए मदद चाहिए।
सर आपने भी कोई परिवार वाले खोए थे?
मेरा भतीजा है, मेरा भाई का लड़का है, उसके माँ बाप नहीं है और मेरा भांजा है। दोनों यहाँ पे रहते थे, वो बिल्डिंग के हादसे में मतलब शिकार हो गए। यहाँ के सरकार से मदद मांग रहा हूँ कि उसको किसी भी तरीके से हमारे गांव भेजवा दें।
सर आपको ये हादसे के बारे में कब पता चला था?
9:30 बजे मुझे मालूम पड़ा। 9:30 बजे तो वहाँ से मालूम पड़ा। तो यहाँ पे मेरा भाई आया था पहले, तो वो आया तो फिर बाद में मैं आया कुछ 11-12 बजे यहाँ पे आके मैं पहुँचा। उसके बाद में मालूम पड़ा, यहाँ पहुँचने के बाद मालूम पड़ा कि सब लोग ख़त्म हो गए। मेरा भतीजा भी ख़त्म हो गया, मेरा भांजा भी ख़त्म हो गया। तो हम लोग 1-2 आदमी से फ़ोन भी किए हम लोग, लेकिन कोई मदद करने के लिए तैयार नहीं है। हम यहाँ सरकार से दरख्वास्त करते हैं कि हमारी मदद करने किसी भी तरीके से हमारे जो लाश है हमारे गांव में भिजवा दें।
So here we have it, the relatives of the victims of the RC Wala building, the tragedy that has occurred, are asking the government at least to help them send the bodies back to the ancestral villages. This has caused, till now we have got details about 12 lives lost, and who is responsible for those innocent lives? That's the question that the government has to answer. This is Sheria Rarani reporting from Mumbai for Mirror Now.
Right, and our correspondent Disha Shah spoke to the State Housing Minister Prakash Mehta, who said that notices were issued to the residents to vacate in order to avoid such an incident. Listen in.
घाटकोपर की घटना और ये घटना को मैं एक साथ नहीं देखता। घाटकोपर की घटना, ये बिल्डिंग डिलिबरेट नहीं थी, उनको कोई नोटिस नहीं था। ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे स्ट्रक्चर में चेंज करने के कारण वो बिल्डिंग गिरी। लोगों को थोड़ा आगे आना पड़ेगा, लोगों को ये विश्वास रखना पड़ेगा कि अब डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है। उनको जर्जरित बिल्डिंग को नोटिस देने के बाद उन्होंने ट्रांजिट कैंप में जाना चाहिए। सरकार और भी ट्रांजिट कैंप देने के लिए तैयार है, लेकिन सामाजिक सोशल इंजीनियरिंग कि लोगों को यहाँ से छोड़कर अगर दूर सबर्ब में कहीं जाना पड़े तो लोग तैयार नहीं होते। लेकिन अब सरकार के पास न सिटी में ट्रांजिट कैंप हैं, जहां अवेलेबल होगा वहां पर हम देंगे, लेकिन लोगों को जाना पड़ेगा। सरकार की जिम्मेदारी टालना नहीं चाहता, न टालनी चाहिए। ये प्रोजेक्ट पूरा हो और एक साथ हजारों लोगों को घर मिले, इसके लिए सरकार ने पूरी जिम्मेदारी उनको दे दी। उसका मतलब अब सरकार का कोई काम नहीं, मैं ऐसा नहीं मानता। ये प्रोजेक्ट पूरा होने तक ये ट्रस्ट को, लोगों को जो भी आवश्यकता है सरकार वो पूरी करने के लिए सक्षम है, वो करेगी। लेकिन लोगों ने अब विश्वास करके बाहर निकलना पड़ेगा, उसको ट्रांजिट कैंप की व्यवस्था देंगे, वहाँ पर लेनी पड़ेगी। अन्यथा इस प्रकार की दुर्घटना को हम रोक नहीं पाएंगे और सरकार अभी इस प्रकार की दुर्घटना को सहन नहीं करेगी। सरकार ने कभी भी ये नहीं कहा है कि ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी नहीं है। इस राज्य में घटने वाली हर घटना के लिए सरकार सक्षम है, सरकार बारीकाई से अपनी भूमिका निभाती है, निभाएगी।
When asked about who will take responsibility of the lives lost, Mumbai Mayor was quick to pin the blame on the Fadnavis government, saying that state government-owned MHADA is responsible for the tragedy.
अपनी प्रायोरिटी है पहला इनको हॉस्पिटल में जाके आया जितनी बॉडी आ रही है सब 20 लोग अभी भी अंदर दबे हुए उनको पहला जो अंदर दबे हुए उनको निकालना प्रायोरिटी है और रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन के पीछे हम लोग अभी हॉस्पिटल ही जा रहे हैं और वो बिल्डिंग म्हाडा की थी वो म्हाडा की जिम्मेदारी थी इसको बनाने का यस लेकिन नहीं बनाया 120 साल पुरानी बिल्डिंग को आप लोगों ने तोड़ दिया अरे जगह दो जाने के लिए कौन जिम्मेदार है चलो बाजू बैठो म्हाडा.
Also listening to what Milind Dera, former MP, had to say.
See, I don't want to blame an agency right now, but it's unfortunate that what has been happening in the last few, forget about years, in the last few days in Mumbai, whether it's this building collapse, whether it's flooding, what is unfortunate is that two parties who have been given a mandate by the citizens of Mumbai, Maharashtra to govern here, in the BMC, in the state government, rather than playing the role of the government, they are trying to play the role of an opposition. That's not how governments work. They have been given a mandate, they must work together, must cooperate with one another. And if they are not functioning as one and coordinating between themselves, you can't expect a tenant of this building who was warned to vacate to have the confidence to vacate.
All right, joining me on the phone line now is Waris Pathan, MLA AIMIM. Thank you very much, Mr. Pathan, for joining in. I just wanted to get your comments on this entire thing that we've been seeing that's been happened, a tragedy that's happened this morning, and importantly, post that, the kind of blame games that have begun.
See, the blame game is nothing to blame game. The only thing which I want to bring it to your notice is that since last 3 years in the Maharashtra Assembly on every session, I have raised the issue that in South Mumbai there are around 16,000 buildings. Out of that, several buildings which are 70 years old, 100 years old are very dilapidated condition. They might fall any time. The building might collapse any time. I had raised the issue. I had told the cabinet ministers that please give a package of at least 100 crore for the redevelopment of such buildings. Otherwise, they will collapse anytime because the condition of the buildings are such, madam, that if we go in that building, we will feel that we won't come down because it might fall down any time. It might collapse. But the state government did not do anything. After Ghatkopar incident, also the state government did not do anything, nor the BMC, nor the MHADA agencies. Now the government is saying that they had given it for development. The developer had given them the notice to vacate. But kindly understand, they are vacating them and sending them to Chembur and Mehul, which is 2 hours drive from South Mumbai. The students, the children are studying in South Mumbai schools. Their parents are residing there, they are working there. So who will go and stay that far? Why does the state government not provide any alternate accommodation to them by way of transit camps near South Mumbai? Why no steps have been taken by the state government? Merely after the building collapses, people die, they come out and give them a 5 lakh rupees package. I have given the video of my speech in the assembly which is being circulated. Kindly go through that. Put that on your channel. I have brought everything to the notice of the government. But the government did not do anything. And I'll tell you, I'm still warning the government that there are several buildings in South Mumbai which are on the verge of collapsing any time. Please take prompt and immediate steps to ensure the safety of the people. As Article 21 provides right to life, it is a fundamental right to live. The state government must provide that. Otherwise, today's incident, tomorrow somewhere else.
Mr. Pathan, I just want to, in the comments today that Mr. Prakash Mehta made, one of the comments he made is that people should go to transit camps, and the government has no transit camps in the city close to, where these buildings are, especially in South Mumbai.
See, madam, there are a lot of places in South Mumbai. Wadala is there, Pradap is there. There are so many places in South Mumbai where easily they can make transit camps and the people can stay there. But the problem is the past experience shows that in certain transit camps, where the people have been shifted since almost 7 to 8 years. The developer has failed to redevelop the building. And that is why there is an apprehension also in the minds of the people that if we leave our accommodation, go to a transit camp, then the builder might take several years and we might not get our homes back. So that is also an apprehension. But the government cannot just shy down from their words and say that we don't have any place for transit accommodation. You can provide anywhere. So many places are available in South Mumbai where you can make transit camps, and I have given them the places. I have said that there is a place, Darukhana, Kodabdev, there are places where they can easily make transit camps, but the government is not serious, and that the innocent people have to pay for that. Today the BMC is blaming the MHADA is blaming the BMC, but I would say that all people are responsible, the BMC, the MHADA, and every person who that the building is collapsing.
Mr. Pathan, also joining in on the phone line is Atul Shah, a local corporator who's joining in on the phone. I thank you very much, Mr. Shah, for joining in. You know, my question to you is the fact that since this morning we're seeing different people from the authorities, from the government saying different things. If you can tell us exactly who is responsible for this?
See, certainly. Now, this is a very ambitious project. This has been given all the permissions. Looking at the fact that the 33-7 rule to develop the building, which were vertical towers, was not catering to parking place, children's garden area, or other amenities. So, you know, this policy of the government of 33-9 of cluster development, there were 225 to 250 buildings which are going to be developed, and lots of work has started also. This building is on one corner. The developers are, have been given all the permissions for demolition of the building, for vacating the tenants. But somewhere, some lethargy, looking at the project from north to south, the 250 buildings, this is almost the second last building on the southern side. Now, there were some tenants have already come out, but some of 5 or 6 still remain. The bigger question is, there are 2 illegal stories on this building. And on the ground floor, there were godowns where they were allowed to continue their catering activities there. So, even the developers are responsible, even the municipality. Where were they? The 2 illegal floors had come up. The illegal catering was going on in that building. So, now I don't want to blame, but these are few things which should have been prevented, and the developer who was given SUBT in this case, they were given all the permissions. They could have taken care of this building, that this is dilapidated. They could have vacated, brought the 95 notice also there to vacate them. But nothing of that was done. But nevertheless, now...
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Shah and Mr. Pathan, for joining in with your views on this. But that's a wrap on The Big Story. Thanks for watching.